So the economy really went down for years.
There was a giant factory that manufactured like cars and parts and stuff. Closed down, and like that was like 30% of the jobs or something in the city.
Jesus.
It was crazy.
It really did.
Bethlehem Steel shut down.
It was really sad. And I remember being in Buffalo doing, and you always see it, I always say hello to Rod when I go up.
Yeah, Rob, yeah.
And
He used to work on the other radio station.
I'm going to tell you why.
No, yeah, of course.
Rob.
He featured you, right?
Rob had a reputation of being like a bad guy or whatever. Like I remember getting a call and going, when you go up there, be careful with him. He's kind of weird and stuff. And I was always very respectful, even as a feature act, until you disrespected me. And then either I was just going to tell you to go fuck yourself, or we were going to box it out, or whatever the fuck was going to happen, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And Rob's week started on a Wednesday. And that Tuesday night, I was part of the Toyota Comedy Festival. And that's the night when that prick put me up after the salsa band.
Oh, Jesus.
But something did good happen, that I got an audition for The Sopranos from doing that thing. So I had to meet her the next day at 11 o'clock. My bus to Buffalo was at 12 from Port Authority. So I met her, got in a cab, shot to Port Authority, took the 8-hour bus to Buffalo, got there.
That's a bus ride.
Did the Wednesday night. And they called Wednesday night and said, we need you back in New York Thursday at 10. So I basically had to hop on a red-eye bus, fucking sleep at Port Authority, wash my face, and at 10, go to a producer's session of The Sopranos, and then catch that same bus I caught the day before at 12.
Go back.
Get back there at 7:30, jump in the shower, go right and do the show.
Oh, my God.
And Rob helped me get the sides. Rob helped me audition.
Oh, that's great.
And I can't forget that. He paid me $450 for a week. I'll never forget that.
Yeah, him and I had like a tough introduction because we worked on, we worked in the same building, but they were competing shows, you know? And I was the comedian on this show, and he was the comedian on that show, and he obviously was a comic for 20-some years and shit.
Roommate.
Yeah, he's been a comic for a million years.
He's got a real resume.
Of course, yeah.
The thing about Rob Lederman is that he's not like a fake club owner.
Right.
Rob Lederman came out here, gave it a shot, and figured a better way out for himself.
Right.
And I'm never mad at somebody.
Not at all.
If Lee comes to me tomorrow and he goes, hey, man, I got to talk to you about something. Some guy in Worcester is opening up a radio station. And he offered me a good job. Not big money, but my mother's getting older. Mm-hmm. And I'm open micing it.
Yeah.
I could go to Boulder, do the radio show, because Rob Lederman invented that whole move.
Yeah, I mean, he was making big money.
Lee, and not going anywhere.
Well,
that's success in
that's
my
how you
world.
started, Josh, right?
Yeah.
Well, mine was the other way around, kind of. Like, Rob came out here, he was doing the road, he was like a headliner, and he was a part of the big boom at that time, the 80s boom. And then he got an offer to be on this morning show that was a heritage morning show, and it was, at the time, probably huge money. I mean, it probably was, like, insane. And so he took that, and he also like ran a business, and then he opened a club, Comics Cafe. What was it called? Comics Cafe. Yeah. And he started running the club out there, and was still doing local sets. And he ran the whole fire hall circuit. That's why my introduction to Rob was like tenuous at first, because I was trying to get into the game. You know what I mean? I was trying to get sets. I was trying to get shows. And Rob's like, you know, you're new or whatever. So I got it at some point. Like, it took a couple years, but I got where he was coming from, and we made amends. And I just did his show the other day, like of calling on it. But yeah. So I mean, we're totally cool, you know, nowadays. But there was a couple years there where I didn't think we were cool.
Yeah, I never forgot that solid he did for me. Now, when I met you, you worked where the first time?
Now, see, that's the thing. When I met you, I moved to do radio in Cleveland for 8 months.
What got you into Cleveland? Now, were you already doing stand-up?
Mm-mm.
You were just doing radio?
No, I was doing both.
Okay. When did you start stand-up?
I started stand-up in 2008.
Where?
In Buffalo.
Okay.
So I started radio, and
nothing was there then.
no, it was a bar, that Nietzsche's bar.
Yeah.
That was our whole world. Tuesday nights there. That was everything. And you had come to do a show later on in life at that bar.
With Ari.
No. That was at the town ballroom. That's where I met you. Yeah. But then you remember when you came back, you came alone and did that bar for the lesbian comic.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, when I met you, I had just moved to Cleveland to start that radio show, and I was gone maybe like 3 weeks when we did that gig at the town ballroom. It was called. It was a theater, a rock club. Me, you, and Ari, yeah. And then I went to do that radio show in Cleveland, and there was a Rob Lederman that I worked for there, so to speak, a comic named Chuck Booms. Do you know who that name is?
No, sir.
He used to work with Bud Freeman. He used to close out A&E at the Improv, so he had credits. He was around. But working with this guy was a nightmare. Like, this guy was such a piece of shit, and I was like, I can't work with this guy. And my old show actually offered me a job to come back with like more money and stuff. So I was like, fuck it, I'm going to go back. And I thought that was it for me. I'm like, I'm just going to die on this radio station or whatever. I'm just going to work here forever. And I did that for about 5 more years before I came out here. So, however many years.
When you were in Buffalo,
yeah,
you got the luck that Helium opened.
That saved my life.
And that saved your life.
Exactly.
Buffalo needed a comedy room in a desperate way. And Buffalo supports comedy.
It does.
Like, they fucking support comedy. So,
how big is Buffalo? Is it like a medium-sized city, small?
In terms of media markets, it's number like 53 or something like that. So it's a mid-sized market in terms of media. I don't know what that translates to in other ways, but you know, it's decent size. I love Buffalo so much, and I wish I could do more there. I kind of like hit the ceiling, you know, obviously.
You remember when I got into the fight with the radio guy?
Yes. that's the show Rob worked on, right? Wasn't that the same one, or was that?
No, I got into a fight. It was Portland or Buffalo, Helium.
Okay.
I went in and I said something about if your kid, the guy's like, well, my kid's been getting bullied and I don't know what to do. I go, your kid gets bullied, you give him some boxing gloves and you teach him how to box. And at the break, the guy took his earphones off. Like, how dare you say that to me? And I go, that's the truth. Well, unless you want to raise a fucking half a fruitcake. Sensational.